for the winter of 2017 into the spring of 2018. So December, my readings are out a little late here. December of 2017 into January, February, March of 2018. I'm going to get right into it here. For your first card, we have fear. So these Cancer females may be in a situation where they're feeling a lot of fear, or they're having fearful things pop up for them. And if I remember correctly, we had some cycles happening over the past. A situation where they understand they have to make changes here, but they're fearful of that, and that's holding them back. So that's what I'm getting. The next card I get is expansiveness, and that's part of that process, right? We're intuitively feeling things that we need to do. We're in fear of them, so holding back. But in order to expand forward, we need to really, just face that fear head on. And I think that we're unwilling to do that, but we'll move on here. The next card I get is protection. And it's off in the corner here. So there's a need here. With fear, right, comes protection. If you're afraid of something, you feel you need to be protected. These are two things that need to kind of go. The fear needs to go, and then once the fear's gone, the protection needs to go. And that's something they've been carrying for a while. These Cancer women have been carrying that fear and the need to be protected. And there's no need here. We just need to believe that we don't need that. So something off here. We have peace here, right next to fear. So that's kind of doesn't match in expansiveness. But the next card we get is purpose. So within your purpose, I think you have a sense of peace. You know exactly where you want to go and what you want to do. And that is giving you the peace to kind of deal with the fear that you have in the other directions, right? So your purpose has nothing to do with any of the fear. You know exactly where you want to go and how you're going to get there in a sense. Where we end up at is temptation. So there's a sense here, always a sense. The temptation, there's some kind of a cycle here that's repeating for you. And you need to be aware of that. We don't have the cycle card here. So that means you are not aware of that. And not only that, it's not something that you're going to end anytime soon. And I feel like the fear has to do with letting go of something to do with this temptation. Now, I don't feel like a lot of times when I see this temptation card, I feel in a personal area. I feel it coming at me like, like you're tempted to cheat, or you're tempted to quit your job, or you're tempted to in whatever direction. You're tempted to deal with your friends in a brash way instead of, in a good, loving, compassionate way. These are the kind of temptations that come across. Now, your temptation is right underneath expansiveness. So I feel like there's something you're working from fear out of, and you're feeling a need to be protected in that area. Though I feel like these Cancer women, these Cancer women are not going to let anybody in on that. And the fact that they're not letting anybody in on it is really why it's going to perpetuate. Because they feel like they're strong enough they can handle this, but they can't. And they need to give it up. They need to let go and admit that they can't handle certain situations in certain areas. And that's really kind of hooking you into not moving forward properly. Though you have a sense of peace, there's certain areas that you got cased, they're covered, that's true. But in order to truly expand, we have to get a hold of that fear and avoid temptation by going into another loop. Because I feel like we're in another cycle here where we see it coming, not necessarily in a spiritual sense. So not necessarily going, I don't need to go here, but it's something that itches you. It's because of pattern behavior, right? You're just going to keep doing it because it's pattern behavior, and you need to break that. So you're not aware that you need to break it. You're just aware that it keeps happening, but you're not aware of how to break it. And how to break it is just to stay away from it. But somehow the fear kicks in here and says, you know what? This has to do, if I don't do this, something's bad's going to happen, or something is not right. And that's that cycle, right? So the fear is keeping you in the cycle. So know that. And also your purpose has to do with a lot of where you find your peace, okay? And the temptation, you need to not go there. Whatever way it rears its head, you need to not go there. So I'm going to tune into the tarot cards. Now, the tarot cards I brought to kind of, expand on some kind of a situation or upload a little more info. A lot of these cards here are not delving into specifics. So the first card I get to highlight the situation is the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is about that sneaky behavior. It goes very well with the temptation where you end up, right? So this is behavior that is not right. The person that is doing it knows it's not right, and they're going to do it anyway. And not only that, they're going to gain from it. So they're going to get something that they know, it's wrongfully gained, but it doesn't matter. I'm getting a sense here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to get it, and it's mine. That kind of a thing. So be aware that any underhanded behavior that's not moral or just, there's somebody watching this. Maybe nobody knows, but somebody's watching, if you know what I mean, like karmically, that kind of thing. So next, the Nine of Wands. So a feeling of wanting to give up. You've put a lot of hard work in, and you're just not seeing the results that you want to see. Though there's a lot of progress in the background, you're just kind of going, is it worth it? I don't know. Is it worth it? Do I want to do this? So that kind of a thing, which can be good if you're reflective on it and you're figuring out, getting to the roots. But we have behind us here, we have the sneaky card. So I feel like there may be a situation where someone was sneaky to you, and it gave you, it led you into this energy of, I don't care anymore. Like, I want to give up. So be aware of that. The next card that I get after that is the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is the fastest guy in the deck, right? He's running and charging forward, and he's going to attack. So there may be a situation here where someone has been sneaky around you, and now you are on the attack. You're going to go after them because it's either like your job or them, or your relationship or them, or, something's got to give here. So I feel a sense of defending things, although the Knight is actually moving in the direction away from the sneakiness. You may just be getting back at this person by going in a different direction. So what's going on here is you have a feeling of giving up on things, and the horse is actually going in a different direction. So you may be giving up on a certain situation, or, whether it's job, life, whatever, like, love, romance, career, that kind of thing. Whatever it is, you're gonna turn and go into a different direction than you originally had put a lot of work and thought into. And not because it wasn't fruitful, but I feel like because there's some underhanded behavior there, and you're just gonna stay away from that. And that's what I feel is like, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go headlong into a different direction. So hopefully that serves you, because yeah, the behavior is one direction and you're moving in the other. So some cases that could be very beneficial. Now, I pull 2 cards here to kind of accentuate things. I pull a fortune card for any good luck. And then I pull a surrender card for things we need to let go of. And for the Cancer female, the card I get is surrender to worry. Surrender worry, not to worry, but surrender to not worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. So another thing that these Cancer women can be coming across is the fact that they are worrying. And I'll tell you, that's fear is worry, right? You're worrying about what can happen and fearful of things that may happen and the protection that needed because of that. So you may be just coming out of a cycle here where you've got a lot of bad thoughts going on, and you got to be careful how that's manifesting into your future. because you can change direction and go in another direction. But if your thoughts are still there and your mind is still working in the habitual way that it has been, you're going to have that in every area that you turn your direction to. So I feel like there's an energy here of trying to walk away from chaos. But if the chaos is centered around you, you have to be aware of that. So I don't feel it's necessarily chaos as much as negative patterned thinking that we're not aware of and we're not conscious of, that we create this habitually no matter where we go. And that's that loop. So we got to stop this first. And I feel like you're just very unaware of where that stops and ends. And it is hard to gain a clarity over your thoughts, but that's why you got to quieten yourself down a lot more than most, I think, because you get strung up in things and you need to surrender the worry, the stressful thoughts, the thoughts on the negative things becoming more negative, or things at all becoming negative. They may not be negative now, but thinking of things being negative. So surrender to the worry. And the fortune card you get is Judgment. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. So again, the Cancer women's, they need to sit down and they need to slow think, go over your day. One of the things, and sometimes I don't do this either. You get in funks where you're sort of going so fast that your day's gone. But for the most part, go over your day, rewind yourself in the evening, go over your day and look at what and how you affected people. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, is how you affected people and how they affected you. Not so much how they affected you, but you have to stand true in who you are. But how did you affect other people? And, put your shoe on the other foot and see where am I coming from? How am I affecting people? What are they doing? And if you don't know, go and ask them. For the longest time, I was like, well, you just don't know because people don't tell you. Well, go and ask them. Ask them, am I affected? And then you might get some answers you may be surprised about. And then, and then that will open your eyes to another world here. But there's very much that inner peace needs to be there in order to process everything properly. I feel like there's still an addiction to negative thought processes here for the Cancer females, and they need to get rid of that. But there's a sense of peace within their purpose. So whatever area that is, they have to watch for the sneakiness and that sense of giving up. I feel driven not to say yay or nay, go in this direction or that. I feel like there's going to be a running off point where you're going to feel like that's it. I'm going in this direction, and you're going to do that, and nobody's going to stop you from it. But in the meantime, we have to watch that we're not carrying the problems with us to the next point. We have to look and then reboot, reboot when we move in that new direction, because we have to understand whether or not we're the one making that chaos or that disruption or that negativity or that fear-based thinking, or it's the other people. And if it truly is, then we reassess and we continue in the path that we were on, that type of thing. So hopefully a little bit of a unrealization for the Cancer females. They're just kind of not taking that time, again, slowing things down to take the time to see what's going on and being aware. And that's truly what it is. So surrender to worry, and your Judgment, soul searching brings inner peace to many areas. So inner peace, and we got a little bit of it. We just have to transfer it to all areas and make sure that that's kosher. So in the meantime, take care and have fun over the Christmas season. For those who celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Take care. Be safe too as well over the holidays. Take care, have fun, and be kind. And Cancers, relax over the holidays. That'll help you out. Okay, bye-bye.